Cade to the trailer!
Cunningham, meanwhile, his guys rolling to the basket, unguarded. Back cut by Tobias Harris. Ends up
the outstretched arm of Bam Adebayo.
How does a team go from the NBA basement to division leaders in just one season? Not luck, not with a miracle trade, not with a shortcut. The Detroit Pistons did it the hard way.
It down! Wow! An unbelievable run, but it will end in disappointment.
Last year, they lived inside a historic losing streak. They were laughed at, they were written off, they were called broken constantly. And in the middle of all that storm, Cade Cunningham kept repeating the same belief. We're not this bad. This season, they proved it. From NBA basement to division leaders, this is the Pistons' turnaround. To appreciate the rise, you have to feel the fall. Last season, Detroit became the league's symbol of dysfunction. Injuries everywhere, a roster too young to organize itself, lineups that didn't fit, close losses stacking into losing streaks. The media didn't call them rebuilding, they called them broken.
I just feel bad for the city of Detroit, for the state of Michigan.
Fans stopped expecting wins. Opponents stopped fearing road trips to Detroit. The NBA community was counting their losing streak. The Pistons, once one of the NBA's proudest blue-collar franchises, they looked like they lost their soul. But inside the locker room, something different was forming. Because losing can destroy you or it can define you. And Detroit, they chose the second. You see, most franchises panic when things get this bad. They chase quick fixes, veteran stopgaps, short-term trades, desperate rotations. Detroit, they didn't. They made a harder choice. Stay the course, build habits, build structure, build an identity that would outlast the losing. Practices emphasized defensive communication, spacing discipline, reading the floor, making the extra pass, finishing possessions with physicality. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't immediate, but it was real basketball education. And slowly, very slowly, a team that used to fold in the fourth quarter started standing its ground. Would you rather win a few games with no foundation or lose while building something real? Because once that foundation set in, the talent finally had something to stand on. Every rebuild needs a heartbeat. For Detroit, that heartbeat is Cade Cunningham. Early in his career, the league tried to put him in a box. He was a future star. He was a primary scorer. He was a franchise savior. But Detroit needed something different. They needed a conductor, and Cade became exactly that. He learned to control the tempo. He learned how to calm the chaos. He learned how to organize young teammates in real time, how to trust the pass instead of forcing the shot. During the darkest losing streak, he kept repeating the same belief. Some version of, we're not this bad. Not blaming, not deflecting, just steady conviction. This season, that conviction turned into command. Late game reads sharper, decision-making cleaner, leadership louder, presence undeniable. Detroit stopped asking Cade to rescue broken possessions. They let him orchestrate functional ones. And when your point guard becomes your compass, your whole team finds direction. Is Cade a superstar scorer or the perfect engine for a championship system? Because once the heartbeat stabilized, the body followed.
What a bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining!
This isn't just a young team getting older, this is a roster that finally makes sense. On one side, Cade, Ivy, guards built on finesse, handle, footwork, change of pace, technical creativity. On the other, Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, pure force, rebounding, rim protection, screens that shake the floor, bodies that make the opponents feel every possession, skill and physicality, grace and grind, Add in a hungry young bench, energy players, defenders, shooters, spark plugs, and suddenly Detroit isn't just surviving games, they're dictating tone. Opponents feel them in the paint, feel them on the glass, feel them at the point of attack. This team doesn't just score on you, they wear you down. Detroit basketball has always meant a few things: physicality, grit, battle, the bad boys, the going to work Pistons. The team that didn't just play defense, they made you earn every inch on the floor. For years, that identity disappeared, but now you see it again. Hard screens, paint battles, talking on defense, no easy buckets, no fear of contact, no fear of reputation. This isn't just a rebuild, it's a cultural revival. Detroit isn't trying to copy the league's trends, they're reviving their own DNA, and that's why this rise feels sustainable. Young teams that survive heavy losing bonds differently. They learn accountability, they learn trust, they learn how to stay connected when things go wrong. Detroit's core lost together, they struggled together, they heard the jokes together, felt the embarrassment together, and now they're winning together. Rotations instinctive, defensive switches seamless, and offensive reads are synchronized. That's why Detroit didn't just improve, they leaped. While other Eastern teams aged, retooled, and reshuffled, the Pistons stayed unified. Because continuity beats chaos. This isn't just a feel-good turnaround, it's a lesson for the modern NBA. You can't just skip development, you can't fake identity, you can't fast-forward trust. Detroit, they hit rock bottom, stood in it, they learned from it, they built through it. Now, they're division leaders. Not because they got lucky, but because they stayed patient when patience looked impossible. And here's where the story gets even more interesting. In our last video, we talked about Oklahoma City, a young team that went from surprise to scrutiny, from being overlooked to being studied, from exciting to expected. Detroit is stepping into that same chapter right now. No longer the league's joke, no longer the rebuilding project, now a real opponent. A team circled on calendars, a team you plan your game for, a team that will get everyone's best shot every night. Because the hardest part of a rebuild isn't climbing out of the basement, it's proving that you belong at the top once the league starts coming for you. So, the real question isn't whether the Pistons have arrived, it's whether they're ready for what comes next. And if you want to see how rising teams handle the pressure, whether it's OKC, Detroit, or the next young powerhouse, you know where to find us. I'll see you on the next one.